So cool. Now let's go to the next one here. So that was a Shivam. We now go with LOL plus Elmao. Parth Vaze says, "Hi Abe, I'm Parth. I'm from India. I want to become a 3D character artist in the gaming industry. I just graduated. I've learned so many things from your channel. I just want to get an idea about my current position in the 3D industry and if I'm good enough to land my first job in the gaming industry as a fresher 3D artist or even an intern, especially in this stage where the industry is very unstable because of AI." I'm gonna be very blunt here, guys. The industry is not unstable because of AI. AI is one of the things that's making the industry unstable, but the main reason why the industry is on an unstable phase right now, in my opinion, is because the cost of the project has ballooned like extremely big levels, right? Making a movie, making a game, making a commercial, making any production to the level that we want to see it requires a huge investment in terms of money. And unfortunately, because of how capitalism works, right? People who are making those decisions and people who are making that kind of money, they need to decide, do I invest my money in a game production knowing that it might flop and I might lose all that money, or should I pursue other types of things to make sure that I get the best return of investment of my money? So what I theorize that's going to happen in the next couple of years is that we're going to start seeing more medium-sized productions, similar to what happened to like Expedition 33 last year, right? We're going to start seeing projects that have a smaller scope that might not be as polished or as like amazingly graphical as what we've seen in the past, but that will allow, again, investment to keep flowing in that sense. So I don't think it's the AI. Yes, AI is going to be like destroying or I don't know, like affecting some of the production houses where they want to, again, cut costs, right? But I don't think it's the main culprit for this whole thing. And as I mentioned yesterday, it's not only our industry. Every single industry is having a bad time right now. I know you're from Mexico, and give me advice about the Indian industry. It can be very unusual, but it will be very helpful to get any kind of feedback or insights of the industry from you. I'm constantly trying to improve my artistic skills, but to be honest, I really don't have the industry side knowledge. Thanks for your time. Let's take a look. Okay, so similar to the last portfolio, I see a couple of okay pieces, some like interesting elements like this one right here, Victor Stone. However, some of these ones are not up to the level that we would be expecting even for an intern. If I take a look at this one, for instance, Lake Guardian, proportions are okay-ish, but the anatomy is just like not there, like way too long. Forms, in this particular one, forms are the thing that are really holding you back, like this like dress or like suit that we added. If we compare it to some of the Marvel stuff that we send nowadays, it's not there, right? Like, we're never gonna see, like, we don't see seam lines. It just looks like an extraction. It kind of looks like you just used like a mask from ZBrush and extracted that from it, and it's not really like helping too much. I do like the fact that we have a couple of more views, but again, no maps, no UV maps, no poly count, no wireframe. It's complicated, right? It's complicated to make this a successful piece if we don't have all of the information. This one right here is it's a little bit more interesting. However, I'm gonna take a quick guess right here, my friend, and I'm gonna guess that you are maybe self-taught in terms of like the 3D pipeline. The reason why I'm taking that little like a guess right here in your portfolio is because on both of these first two pieces, I'm seeing a lot of decisions that someone with no design or sort of like theory behind it might be making, right? So this axe right here, Drakron Etch, it's interesting. It's like you did this for a weapon challenge, but the design decisions that you're making, they are way too noisy, way too weird, right? We have like a dragon thing that looks very fantasy, but then we have this like emissive things that look very sci-fi-ish. Then we have this sort of like core right there. It kind of looks like you just like kit bash this thing into existence, which is it's definitely a way to do certain things, but not something that you might be using for production. One of the best advices that I can give you, Parth, is I want you to be taking concepts from online, right? Like if we look for axe, fantasy, concept, dark, 2D, and you can add the minus AI flag at the end, and it should remove that kind of stuff. You're going to start seeing some really cool axes that usually a concept designer or a graphic designer or someone made to make sure that they made a little bit more sense, right, from a design perspective. So I don't know, like unfortunately it's a little bit difficult to find like a good concept. A lot of them have already been done in 3D, so there's a little bit of time investment in this part of the process where you need to find something like that one. That one looks interesting, but that's actually 3D and hand painted. So not really what we're looking for. Let's take a look at this one. Yeah, again, this is 3D, so I don't recommend someone doing 3D again. Like if it's already been done, there's no real need to be doing it once more. Let me look for concept art. There you go. Now we have a couple more. So here we have all of this access right here. Just copy them. Try to do one of this and try to follow the design as much as possible to make sure you create something that looks quite nice. If you want something a little bit more ambitious, we got all of this that require quite a bit more sculpture. But all of these elements, all of these like drawings, are definitely going to be a better bet for your portfolio, because you show that you can take a concept and translate that into something that's actually going to be used again in a game or something. Okay, so make sure you follow that. Now this one right here definitely looks a lot better. I like that you include a little bit of the story and the information there. That's great. Presentation definitely could be a little bit better. I feel like he's like way too dehydrated. Like usually when we see anatomy, we don't see it as this like intense. Colors are also a little bit off in terms of the skin. Like it's way too red on the face, way too red on the arms. It could happen, right? If it's a miner, or if it's like a biker, then yeah, like he may be like a little bit sunburnt. But I feel like the colors are a little bit too intense. Yeah. And what I'm going to be questioning, of course, what I'm going to be asking for, there you go, some polyframe. It's a little bit on the heavy side in terms of poly count, and the only problem with this like heavy amount of polygons that I'm seeing right now is that I'm not seeing them being utilized to the best of the project's like needs, right? So if I go to the face, let's go, I think we have, yeah, if we go to a close-up of the face, I don't see a lot of like form detail that we really need this much topology for. So it might be, again, another a good idea to really push that a little bit more. It's not a bad project though. Like I can definitely feel that we're growing. So this looks to me like a very good first piece for your portfolio, as long as you again give it a little bit of a better presentation. You can use again the portfolio presentation workshop there as a guide. But I would definitely start with this. Like all of these ones right here, take them out. You don't really need them. They're not really going to be helping you. And this is going to be your new baseline. This is going to be the new sort of like starting point for your projects. And now we need to add more stuff. Character artists, as we've said before, it's a very competitive role in any studio, because you usually have few characters and a lot of other things. So if you want to focus on character art, that's fine. Just keep in mind that's going to be, again, a little bit more challenging. My advice, and I'm only saying this because you mentioned India, and here in Mexico we're in a similar situation. In countries where studios are not as developed and you're going to be dealing with a lot of different like things, I do recommend a more sort of like generalist approach. So knowing how to do props, knowing how to do vehicles, knowing how to do weapons, knowing how to do a little bit of environment, right? Knowing about that is going to give you more opportunities to land a job or to land a role in the studio, while you keep focusing on characters and looking for that big break, right? So it doesn't mean, or I'm not telling you to stop being a character artist. I'm just saying it might be wiser, again, from an economical standpoint, especially if you want to do this for a living, to broaden your skills a little bit so that you can fit into multiple pipelines and then keep focusing on the one thing that you want to go for. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Let's see. Yeah, the competition was like you have to make a weapon which is the ancient sci-fi. Okay, yeah, and again, it's fine that you were trying to design things, but being an artist and being a designer are two very different things. I'm not saying that you can't be both. I personally have been training quite a bit in the last couple of years to learn a little bit more of that. You probably saw the dagger that I did a couple of months ago, the hand-painted one. I designed that from scratch and I showed the full process. It's here on the channel if you want to check it out. But it's a different type of information, a different type of theory that you need to incorporate into your skills to be able to design something that not only is good on a production level, right, on the execution of the 3D, but also on the design principles, like something that looks cool or it's functional or whatever. But yeah, good stuff, man. Let's keep moving to the next one.